Hey, what's good, people? This is episode 159, maybe, Option Podcast. That guy over there, he looks like Matt Hilling.
What's up?
What's up? All right, we're going to find out. The episode starts right now. It's good, Matt.
How's it going?
Awesome, man. Hey, it's cold. Man, it's brick out there. You said you were lifting today?
Yeah.
You were good for you because lifting is
the most important thing.
Yes, especially in the off season.
Yeah,
I mean, do you lift?
sure.
I guess I'll jump right into it. Do you lift in a regular season?
Yeah, I lift. I can't not go to the gym. It's like part of
Okay.
my routine. Like my whole day is thrown off.
Yeah.
Like even if I'm sore, or if it's an off day, I just go ride the bike and stretch. It's just kind of like my meditation.
Yep.
I enjoy it. I'm a person that I love to just go lift weights. I know a lot of people, it's kind of like a struggle to get in the gym. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, well, I'm a big mixed martial arts fan, and some of the fighters, they embrace that and they love that, and some of them, they're just like, man, this is miserable. I remember Rampage Jackson, and he's like, man, I hate training. But I remember when he had to fight John Jones, he didn't win, but he thanked God that he, it would have looked worse if he didn't, if he didn't train. So
I also just don't like being sore. So if you stop lifting, then you're going to get sore. If you just keep lifting, you don't get sore.
Yep.
Your body just kind of gets used to it. I had the flu over Thanksgiving for like 4 days.
And working it out, right?
I stayed. It kind of took everything I had out of me. But those first couple days coming back,
you can move that closer to you a little bit. You get some of that resonance.
Yeah, the soreness was brutal. You feel it right away. But now, now I'm back in the groove, and it's,
Nice.
I don't really get sore.
I think a lot of people say that about volleyball too, indoor beach, like, East Coast grass. A lot of my grass guys are like that first day back, you're like, ow. And I'm like, the best thing you could do is go right back out there the next day.
Yeah. And one of the best things I've found actually is that, if you're playing a lot and jumping, the next day, if you do a heavy leg lift, it kind of sounds counterintuitive, but that's helped me a lot, like through the soreness, just kind of like get all the lactic acid out of the muscles. And so that's actually one thing I do is if I play a lot the next day, I try to lift pretty heavy legs.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know some people that do that on cool down. Like they'll play and they'll they'll go to the gym, watch some TV or whatever, and do that. I'm glad you said that because I was talking to some people. I was watching EVP yesterday. Well, I was watching everything. Yeah. This is one of the weekends where I'm like, wow, okay, FIVB Australia, beach volleyball world, right? USA versus USA. I really like that finals. Best friends, ex-partners become strangers. It was Betsy Flint and picked up Julia Scholes and played Sarah and Kelly plays Chang.
Yeah, I thought it was cool to see Sarah and Kelly back together.
Yeah.
I really liked that team.
Second
when they
honeymoon.
started out. Yeah.
And they're playing as if it's their second honeymoon, right? They look good out there.
Yeah, they look really good.
I'm a big Betsy fan. I'm a Betsy backer. I mean, personally, I don't even know if I like her, but like the work she puts in and the respect she puts in, and she's got a great look and she's disciplined.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Betsy, and she's very much in a John Mayer situation where every year she's winds up with a different partner and wins with him. So, it's like.
I'm always biased towards Sarah just because we grew up together in Huntington Beach. When we were like 11, 12, we were just out there, playing co-ed tournaments. And
you could be Sarah's older brother for all we know.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You guys got the same smile, man. The same. Look at that. Look at on camera. You got the same Hughes appeal.
Yeah. No, it's really cool to see all the success that she's had.
Yeah. So this weekend, in the finals, everybody was like, oh my God. And even the commentators, Dan was talking about like how Gina Urengo looked exhausted. She looked exhausted and then she this and that or whatever. And I actually typed in the comment section, I'm like, and this hurt some people's feelings. And I was like, beach volleyball players don't train the same way regular elite athletes do. If you look at every other sport, you look at baseball, you look at basketball. Not baseball. Oh my God, take that out. You look at football, you look at basketball, you look at soccer, you look at mixed martial arts. There's not 2 ounces of fat. There's no, like, even the guys who look out of shape, like, if you see how they move, their conditioning speaks for itself. There's no wasted time or whatever, this and that. And I brought it back because I was like, I wasn't talking about Gina when I said that. Because Gina is the one that doesn't cut corners. She is the one that stays in great shape. And if you're that age, to keep up with this group or girls behind her
Yeah.
that are telling her, bitch, your time's up.
Yeah, for sure.
For her to still be in the finals is a testament to her not cutting corners or this or that. So I was speaking in general about that. So I was really glad when you was like, I'm lifting, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yeah. So the girls, it's really about staying physically in shape. The guys, it's about exercising the muscles between their ears.
Yeah,
100%. We got to do a little bit better strategically because there are guys, right? Who shorter than you, right? Lighter than you, don't hit as hard, and there they are, and there you might be, or there that guy might be. So
yeah, for sure. That's a big thing that I'm kind of transitioning because I've just been playing so much indoor. I get out on the beach and just try to muscle it the whole time, and you have to have the finesse, the court vision, the touch. Whereas like indoor, you can get away with just muscling it. And the vision too. The vision is so much different indoor to beach. The indoor, you're just really looking at the block. You don't really look at the defense that much.
Power game, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas like the beach, you got to track the ball in the wind. You got to figure out where the defender's at and see the block. It's just I think they're just two completely different games.
They really are.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I don't know about completely, and I'm like, yeah, in so many ways, completely. I mean, we're gonna have a little conversation about 3 things. We're gonna do some lightning rounds later, and one of the questions I didn't put down, and it'll be a surprise question, but I think you as a volleyball player will handle it very well. So, and we'll
cool.
Actually, screw it. Let's do it now. Look, guys, we're adults. We're adults, and adults do whatever they want. So let me get the 60-second countdown clock. Boom. There it is. Right there.
Cool.
All right. So I want you 60 seconds, and I'll follow through.
Yeah.
Or maybe this one I should lead, and it'll install some ideas. I don't know. 60 seconds. Here's the question. What are 3 things? Because you're an indoor savage. I know you spent some time in Portugal and this and that.
Yeah.
And I hope Greece didn't finish your career because that's where careers.
Israel.
That's where that's where careers go to.
It's better now.
They work you ragged, dude. Yeah.
It's a lot better now in Greece.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to know because they didn't have a league.
I have a couple buddies.
I remember they didn't even have a league.
I have
after
a couple
while.
buddies there now, and they said it's a lot better.
Good because. Yeah. Every indoor player's last stop when I was coming up was Greece.
Those early like 2000s and even the 2010s. Yep. The problems those middle Greece teams when you start playing bad, they just stop paying you. If you're on the top 2-3 teams, you're pretty secure. But you get in those like that middle pack and you start losing, the paychecks are gonna stop coming.
Tuesday Volleyball League of America misses that Matt Hilling guy. That's Todd J. Just said something. He said, "What's up?"
Yeah.
And by the way, Wexler said some nice things about you, but on to the question, right? There are a lot of fundamentals that indoor players bring to the outdoor game that give them instant success, if not significant leg up. I want you to give me 3 things. They can be fundamentals like blocking, passing, whatever, or maybe conditioner or this or that. You have 60 seconds. I want you to give me 3 things that you as an indoor player or you feel indoor players instantly transition to the beach. Mr. Hilling, the floor is yours.
All right. So the first thing that comes to mind right away is just the speed of the game. The beach game's so much slower, right? The indoor game, people are hitting 75, 80 mile an hour serves. They're hitting float serves at 50 miles an hour, and the ball's a lot harder. So I think just the speed of the game, I think indoor guys have that advantage to where A, we can just hit harder, and B, we can take the heat a little better, and we're more used to it. I would say
that's one.
Yeah, cool. I would say second, just as being an outside, I think it gives a great advantage because we kind of have to do the whole thing indoor. We got to pass, we got to block, right? We have to hit, we have to have, we're expected to like get all the out of system balls and control them, and so I think as for an outside hitter, you're definitely going to have a big advantage playing beach because you're used to doing everything versus like a middle or an opposite.
Nice.
Maybe even a setter kind of has that advantage too because they have the ball control. And then the third thing.
Yeah, keep going.
I would just say kind of just the grind and mentality. Indoors a grind. It's tough on your body. Mm-hmm. I think just for me, like transitioning back to beach, you're so free. You're out at the beach. You're enjoying. You're a lot more happier. So I think that grind that you have, like with an 8-month indoor season, that you're in it, and then you get to the beach, and it's like, wow, this is so nice, like just showing up to the beach. So I think that kind of just motivates a lot of indoor players, kind of as they stop playing indoor. That's kind of what sparks me. It's like just being able to get to the beach, with my friends and train and play volleyball.
And that's why I asked you the question personally, right? Because some of the things that you feel are an advantage, given your position as an outside hitter, right? Your ability to, first hit is universal for you, right? You're playing grass, first hit. You're playing volleyball, racquetball court, that's first hit. Planet Mars ball, first hit, right? Gravity's a little different there. Okay, we know that. But I like that you brought that up. So allow me to just bring it to a more simplified thing, because you went on this level that volleyball players can relate to, and I'm gonna play the dummy here and go a little bit more universal, right? So cool. 60 seconds for me. One, I would go serve, like you said, indoor, the serve to space. Like, you go to the beach and you're like, wow, there's not a third passer there. Cool. KJ, Chris Johnson, when he hit the beach, that serve was just moving. It was
just
gnarly.
hits it down.
He needed a bulletproof vest, right? The second thing I think that brings sort of advantage is the block. When you have a good op or a good middle, that doesn't have to worry about blocking lanes, doesn't have to worry about closing it up and responsibilities in relation to his teammate, where you have this almost unlimited freedom. It's like I'm blocking line, but not really. If it's tight, I'm just going after the ball. If you see something, you can just... So, and the third thing I wanted to bring to the table is first hit. Whether you're a setter or whether you're an outside hitter or a libero, that first hit on the beach, you're automatically checking all the boxes. I as a coach, when I coach beach, I'm like, are you checking the boxes? The first box is, as soon as you pass, can you see the court? Can you see the court? The second thing is, can your partner option it? And the third thing is, can you do you lose your court vision because you pass this way? So, I mean, first and third sound like the same thing because I completely forgot the third, but like 1 and 2 right now are good enough. Checking the boxes, right? First hit, boom, you can see the court. Now you're locked in your peripherals where you can see the blocker, you can see the digger, you can see that good looking chick on the back line, who's been watching you the whole time. You got what we call complete court vision. Something you'd like to add to that?
The first ball in beach is so important. That first pass, just setting it up, just to get yourself comfortable so you can see the court. That was something that me and Nick struggled with a lot in that Huntington qualifier. It's just that getting in a good spot, me passing for Nick to be in a good spot to where I'm comfortable and can feel, kind of the rhythm of the set and everything. It's something we talked about a lot. It's that, we just feel kind of out of sync in that connection. And a lot of it's just like getting that first pass, A, where you're comfortable, getting in line for your approach, and B, where your setter is comfortable setting.
It's a great team, dude. If you and Nick can take care of first hit, you are just as good as any team, top to bottom, on the domestic scene. In system, you do things that professional beach players are supposed to do in system. It's not like in system you get a set and there's a problem because there's fill at the net or whatever and this and that. No, in system you continue to set and you work it out.
The big thing for us is just the consistency, getting out and training. Both our schedules have been pretty hectic right now, but we both, we talked and we're like, when I'm back from India, we're getting out on the sand as much as possible, doing drills, doing whatever it takes. Because we both want to play. We both kind of have our other things going on, but we always want to be involved.
I want you guys in this sport, man. It's so good to watch.
And it's just that
I put the match against Biz and
I saw
and Carlson on
it's
on
just
YouTube.
That it's getting past that qualifier stage is so hard for anyone because anything can happen in a single elimination. And that Huntington qualifier, like, we played great except for the last maybe the last 6 points of the second set of the round to get in, and then the third set was just a disaster.
I know.
We started down 4-5-0, just not taking care of that first ball, and it's rally score, you're down 5-0, game to 15. That's pretty much impossible to come back from.
I have a good teaching tool for that, and I learned it. And I've been doing this a long time, but I learned this from Mayer recently. I was with him at LMU for like a minute, 2018, 2019, or 17, 18, I can't remember. But coming into like some of these passing drills with a particular focus, and this is something I think you teach your kids too, like maybe as adults, maybe you allow the adults to assign their own focus, right? But kids, for example, just on kids, all right? I'm not talking high level. Your focus is hold your platform, right? Come into this drill thinking hold your platform. Yours is straight and simple, right? For the people at home, straight platform, simple pass. That's what
less is more.
That's what Mayor calls straight and simple. Yes, and maybe a third one move to the ball. Right? Are you one of those guys that on a short serve you do this and do you do this, or do you do this and angle out?
No, I just try to get what's the most direct path to the ball.
That's one move.
Yeah.
So I think the more you drill on passing, whether it's serve receive, whether it's spin at the defender, like someone hitting a hard driven ball at you, like digging situational or whatever, and this and that. If you go into these drills with that focus, a particular focus, where you come out of practice, was I holding more, or was I curling, was I J hooking my straight and simple? The more you come out just with one thing, like you just said less is more. I mean, you just saved me a whole paragraph, and I'm still talking anyway, right? For the audience, right, who might not get this. And you know what happens in a real game? You'll get aced, right? And it didn't feel right, and then all of a sudden, a focus that you came into a drill with comes into play, and that's gonna help you and Nick.
For sure.
Good coaching, and this and that. So, giving up control is a big thing too. It's depending on your coach. You got to trust your coach, because there's some people I coach, they ain't giving up control. Like Samuels, he's a control freak. I had him and Chris Vaughn at the draw. But then Earl Schultz and Jake gave me complete autonomy. So. And like you said, qualifiers are gnarly, right?
It's not easy.
No. Like Jake and Earl, when they qualify for Hermosa Beach, there's always one match.
But there's always
that play-in match is always one. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, when I was younger, 16, I think 17, I qualified for the first time. And, I was playing Dave McKenzie and Larry Witt, like a team I had no business beating, but me and my partner.
I saw that on the BBB.
We had the match of our lives, and that's kind of the same thing, that I'm trying to tell Nick, who, he doesn't have as much experience in qualifiers. I'm like, hey man, it's a grind. Like someone can come out of nowhere and have the match of their life. And it's a single elimination, and that's the only chance you get. So it's tough. I've had trouble, trying. I get to train with a lot of good players, but they won't play with me in a tournament because I don't have any points, and they don't want to play in the qualifier. And it's like, it's frustrating, but I get it. I get it at the same time. It's like it's a grind, and they have their points that are protected, and then they go play a qualifier and get bounced by a team, and now they lose hundreds of points because of one tournament.
That's ridiculous. Aaron Wexler says, talk about how we won an off-site qualifier beating Schoonover in the finals.
With Aaron Wexler. We got the bid. Yeah, we got the bid for Hermosa.
And had to play Allen and Prosser.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we played Lucena and Furbringer, I think, the first round.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty cool. Fun. That's how far back you go, my dude.
Yeah.
Young looking dude. I'm like, would you play that tournament when you were 6?
No, I joke with Mesco and a lot of those guys. They're just like you're only 29, but I feel like you're a veteran because I started playing opens when I was 15, 16.
Yeah.
I was lucky. My dad was pretty pushy to get out of the youth tournaments, and I luckily had a lot of guys. Yariv Lerner was one of the guys that kind of always would play with me. John Nino, John Bronstein. I was playing with those guys who were 38, 37, and I'm 16 years old.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, just kind of getting to learn the game from them, and they're just so consistent.
You're in a good spot now, though, because you still have this incredible ability and this great feel, and you have a 40-year-old's IQ because you started younger, and because I think, and this is me from the outside looking in, because I've been watching you here and there, but I'm very good at diagnosing these things. I think you are you have figured out ways with good partners. You figured out ways with changing up your game. You figured out ways to not play everybody the same way. I know there's a single way to pass and this and that, but I'll give you an example. God damn it, I'm not here to talk about myself, but I have to. It will help you.
Yeah.
Coaching Jake and Earl, right? We play Chris Lewis, right? You know how like Chris likes to run that like that tempo one or whatever and this and that.
Close to the center.
Yeah. Now I'm supposed to be fresh eyes, right? I'm the one. I'm an indoor guy, just getting it in beach. And so in essence, the two guys I'm coaching have more beach experience than I do, but they trust me with fresh eyes. And I'm like, I go to what's his name, Bobby Jacobs.
Yeah.
Bobby, I'm just like, any suggestions? Yeah, this guy's killing us. And we didn't want to, Max Martin was his partner, and Max looked on fire, and we didn't want to serve him either. So, and Jacobs, easy fucking fix. Easy fix. He said, dude, just block cross. Earl, you got Earl Schultz at the net. 4 block, 2 block. Anything that comes line is not going to come straight down in front of Jake, right? It's going to be hard, but he could do it. And anything that goes cut over, it's Earl blocking.
Yeah.
If either Jake can get that or he can't.
Yeah.
You know, and we made that single adjustment. We were down technical timeout 12-9 game 1. Ended up winning 2-0. And I was just like, Bobby, man, I owe you because I did all my homework, but there's some things you're like, everyone's got a plan until you get hit.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the example I wanted to give you. And that's why I think you've made a lot of on-court adjustments as a player. Like, all right, he's doing this. I think we should do that.
Yeah. I just love the versatility of the game, being able to do everything. Like even in that match against Chris Schaefer that you were filming, you know, Nick kind of got in that rut.
Yes.
On the right. And, you know, so I go like, let's switch. Like me and Nick, both sides, doesn't matter. You know,
that was terrific.
We maybe have our preferences. I think as a team, we're better with me on the left, him on the right.
Yeah.
But like we talked about it, like we got to make that switch quick. Like we can both side out on both sides. We both feel comfortable on both sides. You get on a rut in the right, or you're not siding out, or same thing. I'm not siding on the left. Let's just switch sides. Give the team a completely different look. You know, we both play pretty differently. Like on the right side, Nick likes a real high set out to the pin. Where on the left, I'm, you know, kind of shooting like, you know, quick 3 balls, like a gap. Yeah. You know, indoor to him.
Man, you're loved. Art Barron, my boy Helen, keep it going. Yo, I love that dude, man. Yeah. He's good for the sport. I wish I could clone that dude and make him.
Yeah, he's great. I have a lot of good memories, a lot of good advice from him when I was younger.
Aaron Wexler, Todd J. Qualifiers are a grind. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're right. Like for me, in that game, when you guys switched, I would be like, just because you switched, run a back set. So like as a reminder in the future, next time you switch, and then just run the back set because you're not trying to give the blocker a different look from a different side of the net. You're just trying to get him out of his stationary where he's already set up. Like a great example of a great blocker when he's set. Lev Prima, like on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Lev Prima, when he's set up, he's
he's sneaky. He's really sneaky.
But he's set up, his footing's there.
Yeah.
And I think I was coaching Cole Fears and Chris Austin, and I said, dude, just run a back set because Lev will change up, and when he changes up, he'll stay 2 block, or you'll see the fly on the 1 block. Or 3, like the fly on the 3, or he'll dip and pull across. Yeah. And all 3 times Cole Fears ran the back set, he dipped and pulled, and Cole had nobody up. So sometimes what you were doing, switch, stay with the switch, but don't necessarily have to hit that side, right? You know, just run the back set.
Yeah, I actually played Lev in a CBVA not too long ago. And you had to work. You have to know exactly where he is. He's so good at getting low, getting out of your vision, and he's just quick over the net.
Those guys that touch their toes and touch the ceiling, you got to make a move left and right. Because not everybody those guys that do that are not good at swinging and shifting. Who else? Ricardo, one of the best blockers in the world. I'm watching people with my own 2 eyes. Not the most effective guy on a back set. I mean, he's going to get his blocks. He's an elite athlete. He's the best in the world, right? He's got the gauntlet of medals. Bam, got it.
Yeah. But that tournament was kind of funny, though. I pulled Pedro Brazao out of retirement.
You did?
Yeah. He told everyone he was done. He actually, you know, he was joking. He told his wife, "I'm done." And then I texted him. He's like, "All right, I'll do one more." And it was so funny just because no one knew who he was.
I know.
He hasn't played in forever.
Oh, isn't that great?
And it's just so funny seeing these guys get so frustrated with this. You know, I think he's 42 now. Mm-hmm. You know, he was never like this big athlete, but he's just such a consistent, solid player. Yeah. And that, you know, he told me he's never playing again. He got served every ball. He enjoyed it, but he was definitely feeling
those relative unknowns, man. Like dude,
everyone's asking me about him. You know, like where'd
Yeah.
you like? Who is this guy? It's like he used to play on the AVP. He was he won multiple Brazilian tour stops.
Yeah.
You know, he beat Ricardo and Emmanuel multiple times. Like
which is
probably
one of the best teams in the sport's history, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I put them up there with Stokely and St. John, like as far as periodic times or whatever.
Yeah,
you just you're blowing everyone's minds now with the names.
Yeah,
like Earl and Jake when they qualified, they had to beat Evan Corey.
Yeah,
and that was 2019, and not a lot of people knew who Evan Corey was. Like
Yeah.
the only thing I knew, he's this pain in the ass lefty. Like, and every time there was a tournament, he was in the finals with a different partner, winning and losing. So and I'd see him on Facebook Live because that dude is a self promotion machine. Served him 3 balls. I'm like, man, I don't want nothing to do with that dude.
Yeah.
We don't want. He had Valela. Valela was the other guy. Who was on his team. And I'm like. Found out Valela had staff later. That turned out to be the right choice.
Yeah.
You know, he was wearing all black that day. So you know the hecklers are giving it to him. He went all black in Hermosa Beach in the summer. Black sweats. Black hoodie, black sweats. Oh, Aaron, ask him what staying inspired means to him. Dude, that is for your podcast, not mine. You want to take a stab at that for Aaron Wexler? What does staying inspired mean to you? Ooh, Aaron, where's my camera? You lucky I like you. Go ahead.
For me, that just means kind of like keeping yourself in it. Right? Only you can motivate yourself. If you're going to rely on someone else, you're not going to make it very far in anything. So I think as far as staying inspired, what that means to me is just finding ways to stay inspired. You know, thinking about, why do I love volleyball? Why do I want to play? Just kind of think of all the good things it's brought me in my life. So
no doubt.
That's kind of what that means to me. Yeah.
Volleyball is like a really sexy girlfriend that makes you feel good about yourself. You can sport her, right? Sporting her in New York. Sporting her means that you got a really, really good looking chick next to you, and you can take her wherever you go, and everyone's gonna check her out, so you can sport her. So volleyball is like that, but there's a certain time you gotta move on because those girls. And I sound like I'm insulting women everywhere, but you know what? I gotta say what I gotta say.
Yeah.
They're train wrecks. So volleyball at some point you think is gonna save you and it ain't. So you gotta know when to get off and on to the next one, right? Like right now you're coaching.
Yeah.
I think coaching probably is teaching you more about your game than you playing.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I love it.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, and that's
Talk
just
to me about you're at Pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
No, you're gonna say something. I'm interrupting everything.
I just enjoy, like getting back in with the younger kids. They get fired up. It motivates me just in general, to kind of like take my game to the next level. When I'm getting on a kid about, holding a platform or doing something, I think about that too. Like I'll be practicing and I'll, shank a ball and be like, man, I'm yelling at all these kids, to do this, and I'm not doing it, and it kind of keeps me honest.
Yes,
that's what I really like.
You're
about
like,
it.
Hold your platform. Wait, am I doing it on the beach?
Yeah,
games?
Exactly.
Am I J hooking at the end?
And it will happen all the time where I'm explaining something to a kid, and then like I feel like sometimes I'll just pause because I'm thinking like, well, that makes a lot of sense. I never thought about it like that.
Yep.
I should implement that into my game.
Yep.
A lot of just kind of like little breakthroughs like that whenever you're coaching are super cool.
Yep. Todd J says the same thing. By the way, one of the greater conversations, boys. Hilling is so underrated. Are we glad we're doing this live? Yeah. Guys, we are live on the podcast. On the audio, we are not. And on YouTube, go bugger off. Nope. But all right, so let's do another lightning round.
All right, cool.
There are things as a player and as a coach that you like more about the beach than you like indoor, right? For example, if I were to go the other way, I like indoor better because my car's clean, right? You go to the beach, your car's dusty, dirty, or whatever. Indoor, your car's clean like a whistle. So that's just a silly example. And we're actually going the opposite. Okay. You're going to give me 3 things that you like about playing beach over playing indoor. And I'll go 3 things as a coach.
Okay.
Unless you want to go, coach. I'll go first, though. Ready?
Yeah.
So here goes. My 1 minute. 3 things I like coaching beach over indoor. 1, there's no bench on the beach, right? one of the biggest concerns, and you as an active indoor player knows, there's always concerns about parents and playing time, right? They're invested in this. They got money, and I'm not trying to insult parents everywhere, but they're always convinced that their son's better than they are.
Yeah.
And you got to deal with that, and you got to deal with playing time and this and that. Evolution, we had this policy where everyone played one whole set. So if you had a problem with us, then you can't play boys volleyball anywhere. So no bench on the beach. 2, which leads the segue to the second thing. Easy parents to deal with. Indoor parents, they're like 90s rappers. They're walking around like gangsters, like Snoop Dogg. I'm like, relax, dude, you've won. Yelling at kids, score, 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 you know? And outdoors, she's sitting in the beach chair. She's got a little wine in the back. She's eating chicken fingers, you know? And the third thing I like about the beach is more personal attention. You having to be one coach, even with assistant coaches, managing 12 personalities as well as skill set development is quantitatively more tedious than you will ever have to coach 2 people. So that's my caveat for 3 things I like about beach over indoor. I'm assigning you the more difficult task as a player because you this is your wheelhouse. You have played professionally indoor. I played indoor too, but that was 100 years ago, and I don't know. It just seemed easier. You guys are so like play running, man. Some of the blockers I play will be on suicide watch. So that is your wheelhouse as a professional beach player and a professional indoor player. 3 things, babe.
All right. First one's easy. You get to be at the beach, out in the sun. You're not stuck in a gym. You're not stuck in some random country, you know, in a little village, right? You're going to Manhattan. You're going to Huntington. So that's the first thing. Second thing I'll say is just impact on the body, like the knees, the shoulder, the hips, like way better. Right? Like playing, I would say like you get more tired playing beach because it's harder to move, harder to jump, but your joints and your body just feel so much better. Just the impact so much less. And then the third thing is just the creativity on the beach. I like shooting, being creative, getting out of a sticky situation, whereas indoor it's more you're just muscling your way through those situations. Where beach you have the freedom of creativity. You can set a ball over on 2. You can stand and chop a ball over on 2, or you know do all these weird things that you know that just the variety and the creativity are really appeal to me.
Right. Now back in New York when I played sand. Bam!
I made it that time.
Damn, with time to spare, time allotted to the host, right? When I just pick up just on a simplistic level, way different levels in Central Park. There's only 2 courts, so the open, double B, whatever. But at the end of the day, if someone texts me like, "Hey, let's go sing karaoke," yeah, sure, I'm down. I'm getting a shower, whatever. Yeah. But if I came back from an indoor tournament.
No chance.
GBLI or like you know like I set for Mesa for a little bit. No, that no go what go somewhere. What? So when you said forgiving on your body, I was just like, preach, brother, preach, brother, preach.
Yeah.
So how's Pinnacle looking right now?
We're looking pretty good. We have a couple good, really young teams. Our 14s and 15s. Our 14s is pretty gnarly. We got some bangers on the 14s team. Our 17s team is really good. They're still kind of figuring out how to work as a team. They have all the pieces, but just kind of getting that working as a team and meshing. They're pretty feisty. A lot of really high energy team, you know, so they can kind of be that up and down. But once they get it figured out, they're going to be looking good. They're really well coached. They have McKay Smith, who's the Long Beach assistant, is their head coach. So they're getting all the information and they're putting in the work. So that team's going to be really good. And then my 18s team, we're kind of going through the same thing. We added a couple new pieces. You know, like Nick's known the kids, you know, for a while. I kind of just came in and don't really, you know, I'm still kind of learning about the kids, but it's a great team. For sure, one of the most fun teams I've coached. You know, they're really into it. That's the biggest thing for me is I just want to coach kids that want to be there.
Nice.
And you know, I was always lucky to have, you know, ex-pro indoor guys. I had like, you know, Hildebrand was one of my coaches. Dustin Watton came in and helped. Ty Tramley came and helped. Casey Patterson, Steve Klosterman. So I was always really fired up to, you know, get those pro guys in there. So, you know, when I get that love back from the kids, when I'm there, you know, it fires me up a little extra.
A little pay it forward, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Coach McKay.
Yeah.
He doesn't know me, but I know him.
Yeah.
I know about him.
Yeah, he's
done
a great
some really,
guy.
really good work. Certainly
Yeah.
at Long Beach State University with Alan Knight.
Yeah.
Alan Knight, one of the better good guys in the sport.
Yeah.
You know, when I moved here, he gave me an opportunity to coach. He was a national team coach, so he gave me a chance to be an evaluation coach for the opposites and setters, because I brought a huge degree of indoor experience with me. And a friend actually was like, and he was like, sure. And I was just like, that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
That was really, really cool. And I really, really appreciated that. It was Donald Suxho was the other guy that I was working with.
Nice.
Opposites and whatever.
Yeah, I know Donnie pretty well.
Yeah.
He's helped me out a couple times.
Suxho is someone I'd love
Yeah.
to have on the podcast, because
He has a crazy life story, just like from Albania to SC to the U.S. national team.
Not just that, like I'll bear with me. I'll tell you a story about him now. Just being older and following the Olympics as long as I have. So, Olympics, men's volleyball, right? It's in Greece.
Yeah.
So, here's the situation. Greece, it's first round, quarterfinals basically. Winner goes to the semis. Greece is up 2-1. They're up 20-12. Lloyd Ball gets benched. Suxho comes in because I don't know, maybe he just wants him to get some playing time before he gets eliminated, right? There's a bonfire in the corner, like an indoor bonfire. The place is ruckus.
Oh, yeah.
You started a fire in the corner and everybody's cool with it. Let it burn, let it burn. This dude comes up with some great plays, some first setter digs. They come back from 20-12 and they win the second set. Now, I bring your attention to the third set. They're down 13-14. They get a dig, great dig off the D zone, position 5. Suxho jumps like he's going to set. Takes his right hand, thumps a jumbo shrimp to position 5 over the libero. Clean in a fucking sixes game with a bunch of 6'8" guys who can cover the whole court on one reach. Yeah. And then 15 up, he sets Ryan Millar middle, a 1. Someone in a crowd blows the whistle. Everyone else stops playing except 2 people, Suxho and Millar. Yeah. They hit the ball, they get the point. Greece hits the ball out. USA wins.
Yeah.
Awkward situations here because the American coach is staying at the Greek coach's house.
Yeah.
A year, 2 months later, their league folds. Their most premier professional sports league folds. And Ryan Millar told me that story because he was on the podcast. And I want to ask Suxho the same question I asked Millar.
Yeah.
Did you hear the whistle? And just, right? So sometimes when you hear a whistle on a double, you're in mid swing. You're just gonna swing and be like, hey, my bad, you know? Or was it so loud and ruckus in there that you just
That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Tell me.
It's like just someone like, oh, I thought I heard a whistle.
Yeah.
Or like the guy that like stops on the beach because he thinks it's a double, or just play.
You gotta play.
Just play volleyball.
Especially the louder the environment, the more you gotta play it.
Yeah.
Loud environments, don't be like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
DTA. Don't trust anybody.
Yeah. But especially the indoor gyms, man, they get loud.
Yeah.
You got horns, you got drums, so you can't.
Yeah. And in the international scene, and you've played in some places where they have some ruckus crowds.
Yeah.
Germany has a pretty good league too. I got a little trophy behind you. I won
last year just in Israel. I was in such a small little village.
Okay.
And volleyball was the only it was the only thing to do was go to the volleyball matches.
Yeah.
So
it makes it more intimate though, right?
We had a small gym already to begin with,
which means intimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you have every single kid in the village is going, and they have the kids section getting rowdy, horns, banging the drums, and I'm serving in there. They're maybe 10 feet away from me.
Right.
When you're in the huddle with your coaches, the crowd's right there, hanging over the fence, just screaming and yelling.
So actually, that's going to be our next 60-second lightning round question. But let's talk a little bit more about venues before I get to that.
Yeah.
In New York, there's a Division III school called Hunter College, and their setup, the bleachers are about 8 to 10 feet above the court, pushed in, almost like a Catholic school type setting for basketball or whatever.
Gotcha.
And
so there's no floor level seating?
No. and well, they can if you pull it back. If as you continue to pull the
Okay.
bleachers back, chunk, 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 chunk,
Yeah.
chunk. But you can set up the bleachers where the first row is here.
Okay.
And it's right almost on top of the players. And I love it because you can still pack it in.
Yeah.
And at the same time get this intimate setting where you're practically on the court. You trip, you fall. Dude, you just fell on the court. Replay. Sorry guys. Piss off. You know? Great this Division III school on the Upper East Side, Hunter College. And I only knew because I the only year I played NCAA, I just wanted to play 1 year, and this team had a bunch of crazy Dominicans on the team, and I'm like, yeah, I want to play with those guys.
Yeah.
They're like one of the only teams that made like the EIVA finals. Division III made Division I. So Vassar and Hunter were like the only two teams, and NYU semifinals.
Okay.
Lost to Penn State. Subsequently won the whole thing that year. Matt Anderson.
Yeah.
Who's the middle? Holt? Was that
Max Holt.
Max Holt, yeah. So let's talk about your favorite venues to play, my man. With 60 seconds, this is the beach.
Yeah, on the beach.
Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to do indoor? Because indoor is indoor. No, I'd like you to do indoor because these are venues that people never heard of.
Yeah.
So let's do something new. You have 60 seconds to give me 3 venues that you really enjoyed playing.
Okay.
All right. And me, I'll give you 3 venues I enjoyed as a spectator.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah. So number 1 was Israel, being in the little village. Everyone shows up. Everyone you see around the town shows up. You know, screaming, yelling. Probably the best atmosphere I've ever played in. Second to that was in Brazil. That was definitely the most intense. You know, I was kind of coming off the bench there, and I kind of came in late in one game and missed my first serve. And the crowd, like my fans, my team fans, my own crowd, they let me know instantly that they were unhappy with me. Luckily, the rest of the match went well for me, so they were happy. But they immediately, like, people were flipping me off from the crowd. You know, like, you could just feel the tension. As soon as I missed that first serve, you could feel the tension in the crowd. And then the third one, I'm going to go future, is India. I'm really looking forward to playing in India in January because that
fan base
looks gnarly. The production, how they set it up, I would say I'm looking probably the most forward to that.
Ian Satterfield did some color commentary for a league in Indian. It was 18.4 million views.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
For volleyball.
Yeah. And that's the English stream.
Yes.
The stream in Hindu, or some of them were getting up to 40 million. Yeah. They stream in 4 languages.
Dude, yo, come on, America. What are you doing? What are you doing this country loves?
Yeah.
I feel like Rambo for our country to love us as much as we love it.
Yeah.
As Rambo First Blood Part 2 or whatever. Paraphrasing, of course.
Yeah.
But man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So God, I don't even think my 60 seconds should even count. She would just skip me because that's a send it home. So let me make this the fastest 60 seconds I can.
Yeah.
I don't even know why that screen went off, but you're going back on. Yes, you are. All right, so 60 seconds. My 3 favorite venues as a spectator. I like New Orleans. I liked Coconut Beach Open. Intimate. You know, the courts were very next to each other.
Yeah, I played New Orleans one time.
Yeah, the night lights, the Christmas light setting. Yeah. That night it was Evan Corey and Logan Weber beating Rafa Rodriguez and an injured Peter Marciniak who was playing on one leg. But for him to win it, you know, the Kenner border winning home, that was very, very cool. I love New York City, and all my friends hate me for it because they hate going to New York City. So because it's so inconvenient to travel, inconvenient for hotels, inconvenient for this, inconvenient for that. But look, when you get on the court, and a whole bunch of people that you never knew are into the sport of beach volleyball. The Russians from Brighton Beach, the Dominicans from Uptown, the Chinese from Chinatown, the Koreans from Flushing, the Poles from South Brooklyn. The Jamaicans and Haitians from Flatbush Avenue.
Yeah.
A rainbow of people in the crowd cheering you on. There's nothing better in the world besides the pizza.
Yeah.
The third venue, I have a special affection for, and it's kind of a tie. Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, they're like sister venues because I get the same rush and same feeling. But the only tournament I played in Manhattan Beach 2016. I got my head chopped off by Jake Rosner and TK, but was 47 years old. I wanted
Yeah.
to do it, you know, and
Yeah.
and that same qualifier helped Rafa Rodriguez and Kevin McCulloch qualify.
Nice.
So Manhattan Beach is, I guess, like every other volleyball fanatic or nerd.
Yeah.
Well, it's called what? The Granddaddy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can call Hermosa Beach the Mecca.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. The Mecca and the Granddaddy.
Hermosa's my favorite just because it's been good to me.
Yeah.
I've gotten in 3 times there.
It's like a home game for you.
Yeah. Everywhere else, I've had a meltdown or made it to the round to get in and had the dreams crushed. But for some reason, Hermosa has just always been good to me.
I'm feeling that. I like that. So let's talk. Let's get back to you. I got three important volleyball questions about you that would be podcast malpractice if I can just bring it up. So from a coach's perspective, coach to player perspective, I feel like I might be inquisitioning you, but I'm going to ask anyway. Give me one thing that you thought you showed significant improvement on this volleyball calendar year.
For me, this calendar year was more just in the gym, like getting physically stronger.
Okay.
I think that was one thing I lacked.
So you showed significant improvement in conditioning.
Yeah, I had a lot of injuries, so I was always hesitant to really push. And I was never I never wanted to be bigger. I liked being kind of leaner and lighter. So this off season, before Israel, I put on about 10 pounds, 15 pounds of muscle. And, I always thought that getting heavier would put more stress on my body, but it's actually, you got to find that kind of medium.
The balance, yeah.
The balance, kind of adding that muscle in my legs and in my shoulder. I kind of got, a lot more stability. So when I was landing, I wasn't putting as much, I might be heavier and putting more force into the ground, but I was absorbing the force better just because my muscles could handle it better.
Yeah. I think the people that play, that have indoor longevity are the ones that knew how to land.
Yeah.
Right? Like Reed Pretty lasted a long time.
And I've never been, I'm not, like when you look at me, you're not like, oh, that guy flies. I can jump well, but I'm not like a springy high flyer.
No, you fly. It's ridiculous.
Comparatively,
Yeah.
To someone like Nick, who's just, he's, trying to block and his whole chest is over the net.
Caveman. Yeah. We're going to call him Nick the Caveman.
Yeah.
What's his last name again?
Amato.
Nick Caveman, or Caveman Nick Amato.
Yeah.
Yes, Captain Caveman. Unga bunga need a block.
Yeah.
Conditioning's important because that's one of the other things that we didn't mention.
That was just always something that I never really focused on. Like I said, I always liked being in the gym and I always worked out, but really making that like a staple, like I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to put on weight. That was kind of something that changed just kind of in the last year and a half for me, and made a huge difference.
Think about all of the indoor players that hit the beach scene with the conditioning they had, right?
Yeah.
Taylor Sander, look, he's played some beach before, but you got to admit him taking care of his body and him coming into the AVP season.
Yeah, well, him
arguably
deciding to play beach was a lot for his longevity, because if he kept playing indoor, he was kind of at his peak indoor. Everyone was like, well, why are you stopping? You can still make millions of dollars.
And he says, says I'm stopping? Isn't he playing indoor again? Isn't he back playing indoor right now? No.
I don't know where he's at right now.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah.
If he wasn't out there with Taylor, he's playing.
Yeah.
No, but think about this. Were there, indoor or beach, were there any, I can't think of any player that came into the AVP season. I'm not internationally, because conditioning wise, there's no comparison. Those dudes are savages. But I can't think of anyone in the AVP that came into the season in better shape than him. Yeah. Taylor put on a little muscle too, right? And that's important, like you said, managing, because muscles need oxygen. Your assertion was correct on putting on too much muscle as far as your mobility and as far as what your body requires, because you're carrying that muscle. Yeah. Get that. We get that. Yeah. This is why, it doesn't necessarily make you hit harder. Taylor was a bag of bones when I saw him play at Long Beach State, and that dude hit a ton. Yeah. I have a friend, Ren Osborne, in New York. They call him the Queen. Yeah. He doesn't even work out. He goes dancing. That's what he does. He goes to the house music clubs. He twirls, carries on like a little queen, like he does, and he's got a whip. Yeah. I'm like, there's people with bigger muscles than him. They ain't whipping like that, dude. So again, goes back to the muscles between your ears. Proper coaching. Finding something that works for you, giving up control, exercising a technique that gets stronger. That's the right way, if there is such a thing. I'm not comfortable using the term the right way.
Yeah.
My next question to you is, what's one or two things that you'd like to come onto the court next year showing significant improvement in?
A big thing for me is the consistency with float serve passing. I think everyone kind of struggled. It's way harder to pass a float serve, right? A big bomb, a jump serve, you kind of just fighting it off.
Yeah.
They're
it's
easy
the
to
difference
read.
between the open level players.
Yeah. But especially indoor, it's just so when you get targeted, just mentally, it gets chaotic and you stress yourself out. Mm-hmm. So that's been a big focus for me, is just staying calm, especially when I know, like, I've shanked a ball now. They're coming after me.
Yeah.
Because I have the platform, I have the skill. It's just, like you said earlier, it's between the ears.
Yep.
Staying calm. And so much of passing is just staying calm and tracking the ball and not kind of like freaking out and making like an emergency move or a panic move to the ball. Just, the ball has to travel 30 feet to you. You have 30 feet to track it. Use all that time.
Yeah. Serve receive is about knowing yourself.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, and open for the beach, the biggest thing that separates the guys who are like AAA guys and open, or guys who are at the top of the qualifier, bottom of the main draw, is the serve and serve receive. And I think, as far as conquering those demons, first you got to know yourself.
Yeah.
Are you the type of person that says, when you get ace, like, I wish that would serve me again, and you pass a dime?
Yeah.
Or are you that guy that says, I wish he would serve me again, and shank the next one?
Yeah.
You're right. It's all in your mind, right? So,
especially at the highest level,
Yeah.
everyone has the technique.
Definitely.
It's just a mental game.
And knowing yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch MMA, but Chael Sonnen once said, they tell you losing's not an option. He says, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Losing is an option. Losing is the most readily available option all the time. So, like, for me, what I tell players as a coach, if you feel like the pressure is on and you feel like you have this inherent need to win and not fail in this situation, take a step back and take 3 seconds and realize these two important things you could consolidate in 3 seconds. One, the other team's feeling it too. Yeah. And two, it's natural. It's not an unnatural feeling. We as men, 10 times more than women, don't want to anything that makes it look like we're weaker or admitting we're weak at something. Yeah. So, like, if you're one of those guys that has hang-ups about that thing, it's like, hey, it's, they got to get this, and they lose the point if they miss this, know. So the pressure's on them too, and two, hey, next play, you know, or you could let negative talk creep up in your head.
No, I had a pretty big mentality shift maybe 1 or 2 years ago, where I just decided, I'm leaving it at the beach, or I'm leaving it in the gym. Like, after I'm away from the volleyball court, I'm not thinking about it anymore. I think that was a pretty big shift for me, just because, like, I'd go have a bad day of training and then my whole day would be ruined. And it's like, you can't live life like that. And it's almost like I feel like I get so much more out of practice knowing that, like, I'm in this gym for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. That's volleyball time. As soon as I step off that court, it's over. No matter what happens. Yeah. Right. And a big thing too for me, I like to talk shit a lot. The guys that carry it off the court drive me insane. It's like, when you're between those two lines, like, we're at war, we're fighting. Nothing's ever personal.
Yeah. Well, California must be a miserable freaking place for you then.
Yeah. So
because I never met so many sore winners.
Yeah.
than I have in this region. Yeah. Like in New York, basketball.
Yeah.
You're talking crap before.
Oh,
You're hazing someone in the middle, but when the game's over.
Yeah.
Good stuff, boy. Yeah. Here, it's just like when they win, and I'm like, dude, wow, that's the guy that just won. Yeah. That's the guy that just won.
To me, a big problem I see is that, people...
Sore winners, dude.
But also, they're doing it for the attention. They want to make the main draw, post about it on Instagram, put pro volleyball in their Instagram tag. Yep. Whereas me, like, I always say, if you're playing volleyball to make money, you're crazy. Yeah. I play volleyball because it's fun and I love to do it, and it makes me happy. And that's why I'm going to continue, and it'll always be a big part of my life.
Play indoor to make money.
Like, you got to go play indoor to make any decent money, true. So for me, that's that's the biggest thing is I don't want to be that guy that's, you know, just like chasing the dream for the attention. You know,
Right.
I want to enjoy being out there. And if I ever stop enjoying like being out there and grinding, then I'm just going to stop.
Can you appreciate how that mentality gives you your volleyball longevity? You started at a very early age, and you played with some of the best players in the world and played against some of the best players in the world. The level of successes and failures, considering how long you play, should have burned you the F out.
Yeah.
And yet, here you sit.
Yeah.
Big smile on your face. Yeah. The same smile you probably had when you were 15, right?
Yeah.
One, this is who you are. And two, you're really good for the sport.
Yeah.
You really, this is why, man, I want you to do well so freaking bad, because I'm not saying we need personalities. We just need people who are good for the sport. I can't imagine some of the people that you would, the fans, as they get bigger and bigger and as you get better and better, that you, the way you wear your heart on your sleeve, that will allow the fans to take that journey with you.
Yeah, for
Losing
sure.
the semifinals, you're going to have people crying in the crowd. And you're like, oh my God, this kid's crying. Don't cry. It's okay. It's just a game, dude.
Yeah.
You know, as you continue to do these things, because your mentality is already there. It's just about taking some of the things that allow you to be a better version. So,
yeah.
Like I said, I'm there
to enjoy it,
dude. You are so much fun. Dude, I had work to do.
Yeah.
Qualifier. Look, I didn't expect Torrey and Max to go very far. I had plans.
Yeah.
Not if they lost, but when, right?
Yeah.
But there I am. I'm like, oh, cool. He's playing Biz or whatever. I'm like, oh, cool. He's playing this guy. And the play-in, which I had to leave because I had to coach.
Yeah.
But you're good for the sport. We're doing a live podcast here, and this is Facebook. This is only where old people exist, and the comment section's blowing up.
Aaron's not that old.
Aaron, who?
Aaron's
Wexler?
not that old.
Nah. He's young at heart, dude. He's young at heart. He's gonna make a good father and grandfather and great grandfather, because he's gonna be that young dude in the family. So,
sure.
Well, here's the other thing you're doing right. You know yourself enough to say, hey, that's the court. This is my switch off. Boom. There are some people who are driven.
Yeah.
And they take it off the court, and for their consistent with their personality, that works for them.
Yeah.
And there's some people like, he's doing that, I should do that too, but it doesn't work for them, and they burn out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah.
Everyone's different. Everyone has different things that motivate them. I'm not, like some people are very like about the positivity.
Yeah.
And that works. That's great if that works for you. For me, I'm more like,
I mean, look at you and your part.
Go to the gym. Like, don't be lazy. Like, get
let's
like
go.
That's kind of like when I wake up. It's like like, oh, I'm a little tired. Like, what do you mean you're tired? Like, get the up. Go to the gym. Go be productive. Yeah. That's kind of how I look at the mentality, which doesn't work for a lot of people. But it works for me. And I'm always someone that like I enjoy when someone's getting on me and in my ear and like, hey, come on, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I don't respond well to the hey, good job, or like, you can do it. Like, that doesn't resonate the same way as someone saying like, hey man, like, you got to get that ball, otherwise we're f***ed.
Yeah. I share that in a sense that as a coach and a commentator, I'm up at night, and this whole notion that someone thinks someone's a better club coach than me, or someone's doing better things on the beach than me. I get out of bed, I come into this very command center, and I watch video. And I watch instructionals, and I disagree with people, and I agree with someone, and it's this ever evolving thing.
Yeah.
But very much like you, I know the job can't save mine.
Yeah.
The other things save me. You need an escapism from that. When your escapism, which was volleyball, is now your career.
Yeah.
You need something else. Otherwise, you'll burn out.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
You just gave away the secret of your success so far. You have this thing where you can compartmentalize this and move on to that. Like me, it's karaoke. I'll sing karaoke twice a week, 3 times a week. Tower 12, Hennessy's
especially
tonight is Hennessy.
Yeah, the indoor guys, like, they don't realize those national team guys. Like, I was in there for 4 summers, and you're going year round. You're playing an 8-month indoor season and then straight back to it. Like, like TJ.
Yeah.
Defalco. I was with him during the summer a little bit. That guy maybe had 10 days off last year.
Right. He's one of them guys I got to be careful, because he's neck deep in it.
Yeah.
And
for me, like that, that's crazy.
How do you tell someone like that the job can't save you? Or
Yeah.
you right?
Yeah.
He got to find that on his own. You know.
He's good about, kind of saying like, hey, I need a day off, or,
Right.
and he has the leverage in that gym to do it. But like, it's
good.
just like,
That's good to know.
yeah, it's just always funny. It's just like, he'll come back and it's like, I feel like I never see you. He's like, yeah, it's because like I come back and I'm just nonstop training. And then when he does finally get time off, he wants to go be with his family, so it's like,
No doubt.
that's like the big struggle of the indoor player, especially the national team indoor players, is you're getting maybe 10 days off a year if you're lucky.
You're like WWE
Yeah.
superstars, right?
Yeah.
It's like
right, and like
you ever see the career wrestlers?
Yeah, his one normal like free weekend is like 6-man. Like he looks so forward to like going to 6-man, just hanging out with all his friends and just finally playing just for fun for once, And then the last one, the coaches said, "Hey, you can't. We don't want you playing."
Good.
So he had to show up and just hang out at 6-man. He played a little back row, but like that was. I felt bad for him. It broke my heart for him not to be able to play because I love playing with him on the court, too. But yeah, it's a grind, especially for those guys. It's a lot of volleyball. I
have so much respect for Defalco, and I'll tell you why. And it's going to sound like a left-handed compliment, but I'm going to say it anyway. I've never seen someone in the Olympic Games that was so in over his head, but at the same time played with a big pair of balls between his legs. This dude gets stuffed. Okay, I'm an outside hitter. That is the life of a gangster. I have accepted that.
Yeah.
And he balls on. And the next swing is just as hard, and this one's clean. And I've never seen someone, and people will disagree with me, but I've been doing this and watching this for a long time. He was in over his head in a lot of those matches, but he did not care. I've never seen, maybe besides Reed Pretty, his first Olympics, someone that was unassuming, unaware of the magnitude of the situation, but just in his moment. So much fun to watch. I mean, there were some disappointments, right? You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose to Argentina 3 straight sets on a game, that decides if you go to the playoffs or not. Right? And we're sitting there. I'm sitting here at the table as a Monday morning quarterback, but I'm gonna tell my camera, "Where's my camera?" You don't have to know the sport to know that if you miss 14 serves, you're probably not going to win unless you're Russia or unless you're Brazil or unless you're Italy, who can survive those plays. The USA wasn't that team this year. 2008 they could. That when they won the gold, they could do that. And enough indoor to know that there are certain teams that can miss 16 times and they'll still win. Yeah. It's. Are we back to knowing ourselves? Yeah. But it sounded like a left-handed compliment on Tori Defalco. I wasn't doing that. Yeah. I swear to God, I'm not doing that. I admire the guy.
No, he's definitely a guy whose attitude gets misconstrued.
Yes.
It's his confidence, and he when he was 16 on the national team, he believed he should be starting. But that's the mentality you need. That's the mentality you should have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd be a hypocrite. Yeah, if I were critical of him, I'd be a hypocrite because that's how I navigate my life.
Yeah, and one thing that he's great at, it's in any situation, even if he's never been there before. He believes he should be there.
Yep.
And he acts like he should be there.
And I love that too for that.
No matter what, like first Olympics, first match, this is what I know. I've known I was going to be here since I was 14. Yeah. So I should act like I belong here.
And he needs to think about it. Like in 2000, we lost every single match in Sydney, and Lloyd Ball was on that team, right? I think Pretty was first year or whatever. I don't know if Hayden was on that team. Hayden was on in '96. He played in '96 in Atlanta. He looked good out there. He was a third or fourth string outside, but who cares? Yeah. But that's what I like about Defalco. I like that. I don't know. And anyone listening to this, because I have a lot of people outside of the sport, like I'm a theater guy. Yeah. In theater, right? If you're auditioning for a program, let's say you're auditioning for Juilliard and you don't know anything about Juilliard. You're unaware that they're the #1 ranked theater program in the country. If you come in not knowing that, it is the most liberating feeling in the world. You go into your audition, you got a big smile on your face, you're whooping it up, the professors are liking you. Don't put no added pressure on yourself. Yeah. Come in there as if you're the best player in the world, and that's what we share. Yeah. You definitely know him 100 times more than I'll ever know him because you played him and you interacted with him, and I love that guy.
That guy. God, and he's just getting started.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And that was what I was trying to say. Yeah. Relax, RELAX, people.
Like he's having a breakout year in Poland right now. It's the best I've ever seen him play.
Like Lloyd Ball played in the '96 Olympics, all right? And he ended up winning a gold in 2008. That's 12 years.
Yeah.
Paying your dues, getting your respect.
Yeah.
I'm glad he came back because I would have hated to see him leave without hardware.
Well, volleyball, too, is one of the, like, what the peak age of volleyball is like 32.
For beach, probably even
beach,
older.
Maybe 36, so
right?
So I got 3 more years,
Yeah.
4 more years.
Nah, you are for beach. And because you're doing a lot of preventive maintenance.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell our audience what we mean by preventive maintenance?
Just like in the gym, or
yes,
yeah.
in the gym, just
yeah.
doing things that don't that avoid wear and tear, or slow down the wear and tear.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of guys like you,
yeah,
we as humans are becoming immune to old age.
Yeah, yeah.
We're slowly becoming more immune.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
More immune to old age. Like you're 29, you don't look it.
Yeah.
I'm 52.
Yeah.
I don't look it. I look like a creepy 35, right? Hey, little girl, what's your name? Right?
Yeah.
Help!
Yeah.
Nice. Nick England says knees over toes. Dylan Cox, huge Matt Hilling fan. Guy's a stud. Todd J, people present and accounted for. So, here's a question, and we'll do a 60-second thing, but you could allot the time. And this is a question I dropped in. I think you might have seen it on this. I don't know how much you pay attention to the world scene or domestic scene or whatever and this and that. But I'm just going to have fun because I want people to hate on us and be like, that guy, that's not true. That's not the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Who is the best player in the world?
The best player?
The best male player in the world. I'm going to go best male and I'm going to go best female, right? So I'll go first, all right? It'll give you some insight, right? Sometimes I need to tell a joke for you to come up and be like, wait, I got a joke.
Yeah.
Best male player in the world. I like Ahmed Tijan. A year ago, I would have said Anders Mole. Anders Mole's dealing with some issues right now physically. So physically, not the better version of himself, which some people might consider still head above everybody else. But this man is a transition king. He gets every single serve. He makes you pay. When he gets a dig, everyone's on the edge of their seat because they know something bomb-like explosive is going to happen. The man saves the tips for the waiters. Then he hits everything, even though he won the bronze on the shot. Best female player in the world, that's more of a challenge. I do like Clancy from Australia. I think she's a blocking machine. And I think, like you said, when she gets ace, the very next play, or she gets burned on the block, the very next play is a quality thing.
Yeah.
Though I do think Kelly Clays, if she stays the way she's staying, she's arriving there, right? April Ross, I would say hands down, even out of shape, could house both these girls. But if April Ross comes back, I'm going to go straight USA on this, and I'll say April Ross. And boom.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. The floor is yours, my man. Who's the best player in the world?
For the male and for the best player, I would select the player that I would pick to play with, and that's TJ, hands down. I think TJ is...
No, for beach.
For beach. I don't really watch beach volleyball.
Indoor then. That's best player, TJ.
I'd pick TJ for sure.
Talk to me about TJ since you got 42 seconds.
Yeah. Just the all-around game, the mentality, the trust that I have in him. He can do it all, and I think he's showing it this year in Poland. Like I said, it's like he's carrying the team. He got picked up by one of the best teams, and I think this year in the summer with the national team, we're going to see a whole different side of him that we've never seen before.
Nice. Do you pay that much attention to the females with 15 seconds left?
No, not really.
Stop the clock.
Yeah.
Stop the clock.
Like I said, I'm in the gym and I'm thinking volleyball.
Yeah.
And then I get out of the gym, and then the volleyball's gone. I'm a bad volleyball fan. I don't really.
No. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm a purist.
Yeah.
I tell everyone every episode, I'm only a fan of 5 people of each sex.
Yeah.
There's, for the American scene, there's Theo Brunner, Trevor Crabb, and Eric Baranek. Actually, there's just 3. For the girls, it's TKN, Nuss and Cloth, Betsy Flint, and Chrissy Jones, who's not even in the freaking sport anymore. Chrissy Shunderward. You know that's her new name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that. Can I tell you a fun story about that?
Sure.
Atlantic City, right? AVP. You said you weren't there for that one. It was a $100K purse. Everyone showed up. Theo, everyone, the Brazilians, And who's the guy? That runs everything? Public relations. Josh Glazebrook, right?
Yeah.
Comes up to me 40 seconds before the match starts. Hey, Jason, Chrissy's going to be known by her new last name. And I'm like, sure, what is it? He goes, Shunderword. And I go, what? He goes, Shunderword. And I'm like, do you have a spelling? He goes, nope. And I said, off. Man. And I found that it was SCHUOONDERWOARD. Shunderword is not a last person's name. I'm sorry, Chrissy. Where you are? I'm Chrissy. I'm sorry. That's not a person's last name.
It's a very
that
Dutch
is
or
a
German.
safe word in a sex place in Amsterdam. Okay. Sometimes when the answer is no, but you don't really mean no, you need another word besides no.
Yeah.
So this is your safe word. Shunderword. Nick Englund, life of a commentator, right there. Ray Setzo. How do you pronounce that? SC.
Oh, Ray Zito.
Zito should be in this conversation somewhere. Am I right? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. All right. I like that. TJ for Beach. Still not a bad answer. Remember we played Manhattan Beach with Nick Lucena?
Yeah. I played San Francisco with them and we made it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know those are 4 gnarly rounds. I think a third round was a quiet. I was watching your BVB and I was like, that third round was a play-in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, best player in the world, and I was only talking about beach.
Yeah.
For indoor, it's that dude, the outside hitter from France. The dude passes dimes. The dude with the roundhouse passes dimes. Yeah. His ability to jump set, back row. His ability to hit the bic. His ability to maximize his because he doesn't have the same size as everybody else. But we both know.
Yeah.
When it comes to best player in the world, it's not the Giants.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the
all-around
normal size guys like you, normal size 6'4", whatever,
Yeah.
right? So, yep. Taylor Crabb, right? He won Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Player of the Year for the Olympics in Rio was Oscar Schmidt, Bruno Schmidt.
Yeah.
Oscar
Little
Schmidt,
guy.
who's graciously
maybe
listed
6 feet tall.
I was just gonna say graciously listed at 6 feet. Yeah. So no, but when I thought about best player in the world for beach, I think of like top 5 defenders, top 5 blockers, and like who's best, and not necessarily the best team. The best team I still think is Marlon Sorum. You know?
Yeah,
Like if I were to ask you who's the greatest women's team, beach team of all time, right? We both go.
Yeah.
I'll just say it with us, Misty May and Kerry Walsh, right? But if someone asked me who the best player was, and I'm going before even your time, Jackie Silva. First openly gay player, 5'8", won the first when there was an Olympic sport, won the first gold like easily. Ground game and air game, just nasty.
Yeah.
Never shave the hair over or next to the bathing suit. Just a true.
Yeah.
True lesbian.
Yeah.
So, my safe word is pineapple. Todd J, you're sick today, man. Here's the last question I wanted to ask you because I don't know we got coaching to do. I actually have a hard stop at 4, which is plenty of time.
Okay.
I'm coaching indoor in El Segundo.
Yeah, I could probably go to like 2:15.
All right, cool.
Just as long as I have like 45 minutes to get back to Orange County.
So, at what point? Because you started at a really early age, and you're just this really cool kid. He's unassuming, and you learned it. You got good at it, and you're just having a good time, hamming it up with these. I would say top 1% of beach talent.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have a conversation on that too. So so some of these people who are criticizing people can just shut the F up.
Yeah.
But say that I'm gonna write that down as a mental note because I don't want to forget this important question. Besides, this is you talking here.
Yeah.
Was there a particular tournament, and this is just for the beach, that you told yourself, or a match that you left that match or whatever saying I can do this for a career? Was there a defining moment for you? And I'd like to give you the liberty for indoor or beach, and then from there work wherever you want. I'm gonna shut the F up. Your podcast, my man. Tell me.
Yeah, I definitely go back to that Dave McKenzie and Larry Witt game to get into the main draw. I think that was a big turning point because it was kind of like if I could beat these guys, You know, like I could beat.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, the sky's the limit. I could beat anyone.
And who'd you play with again?
John Nino.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was blocking full time, and that's before I really was strong. I was only 17, big underdog, but didn't have great conditioning, and that kind of was a turning point to where it's like, oh, I think I could really make something. If I'm this young kid and I can make it in and play well enough now, definitely in 6-7 years I should have no problem, as long as I keep to the grind and keep working. So I'd say that was a big, not only just playing that match, but like since that match, Dave McKenzie's, been a huge impact on me, like always checks in on me all the time. Like literally since that match, the last, what it's been like 10 years, 12 years, always keeps up with me, asking where I'm at, how I'm doing, he
bonded forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I love, what a moment.
Yeah.
What about indoor?
As far as indoor, I'd have to say the turning point is when I finagled, getting into that USA gym. I was just lucky, it's all about who knows you, right? I was lucky that a couple of the guys, Furbringer was one of those guys. Again, it goes back to me and Wexler getting into Hermosa. I play against him, get to train with him on the beach a little bit. He knows who I am. Now he's the assistant coach in the national team, so I just was like, why don't I just send Matt a text and see if I can get myself in this gym. And I just, sent him a text like, hey, how are you doing? I was wondering if there's any way I could just get a look. Like, can I get in there for 2 weeks? Can I get in there for 3 weeks? And so, he said, yeah, absolutely. Like, come on in, we'll try you out. And then, that was like, that was a big conversation, like after the 3 weeks, he was like, hey, I gotta, stay after, like, we got to talk to you, like, and they just kind of keep it open-ended like that. They didn't really say anything. So I was like, oh, like this, this might be it. This might be my last day. And then after, go over, have the conversation, and it was like, they're like, hey man, you're staying in here all summer. And so that's kind of when I knew, like,
cool.
Yeah, I was like, absolutely. Yeah. Whatever I have to do to stay in here all summer, I'm in. So that was kind of when I knew, like, all right, let's take this seriously. I could definitely, if they're going to bring me in here, I can definitely make a living out of, going overseas and playing indoor.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk a little bit about just a general respect that I think that a lot of people looking on the outside in either don't know about, they're oblivious to it, and they're talking all this or whatever, and then some people that are oblivious to it and talk the nonsense anyway, and also as far as the nonsense, the chatter,
yeah,
it's the what too, right? Are you saying, oh man, he needs to do a better job, you know what I'm saying, on his serve to space with focus? That's different than saying someone choked or he's got no heart or he sucks. Yeah. That's attacking people personally, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to remind everybody, because when I was coaching Jeff and Chris at Manhattan Beach, everybody's like, oh man, you guys lost 2 rounds and that was it and this and that. And I'm like, like one of them was Case Bear and Allen. It was 22-24, right? And freaking Penberthy and Jimenez is for real as a defender, right? That was 17-15 game 3. But I wanted to remind everybody watching, when you see the Manhattan Beach Open and you see 32 teams, it is the top 1%. Yeah. And I'm being gracious here because it might be even point something percent. I'll just say on a general level, so just so they can grasp, it's the top 1% of America's beach talent. And if your attitude is that the best we can do, because I've been guilty of this too. That's it. This is dull, chill out. Chill out. I'm guilty of this a lot because not because I'm a hater, because I know what we can be. Yeah. We can be so good, I can freaking taste it. When there's a team that qualifies for the Olympics that I don't think has a chance to medal, I get mad. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like when Phil and Nick made it to the Olympics, did they have the points? Did they deserve it? Yes, but at the same time, I knew stylistically, only the most biased person in the world thought they were going to come out with a medal. Yeah. Reality, come on. I'm a Bill Parcells guy. You are what your record says you are. And you want to talk about cold? That's cold. Yeah, yeah. So, Travis Muirwitter, got criticized for not making a main draw by someone actually posted on one, I don't know, what was it, Volley Talk or something? And he's
That's
like,
the worst website. You should never.
Well, Travis said,
all volleyball players never get rid of that website. Don't ever.
Travis said, I'm famous now.
Anyone posting on that website criticizing players is crazy. That
Travis said,
I have so many friends that like, oh, do you see what happened on Volley Talk?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see what happened. I never go.
I actually got an account to tell someone, and I said, dude, I got a girlfriend. You're gonna have to, you got to get over me.
Yeah.
She loves me. I love her. You're gonna have to find someone else. I got a girl. You just met her, right?
Yeah.
Tall, skinny girl,
Yeah.
plays volleyball, went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Okay, come on. There's someone else for you.
Yeah.
There's someone else for you. So this guy asked on Volley Talk, and Travis is like, cool, I'm famous, I'm relevant because someone said something about me. Because that's how Travis takes it, because he's such a good-natured guy. And I'm going to give you the floor, but I want to read the quote that Travis actually decided to respond. And this is the Man in the Arena quote, right? And we can read this together. Let me go on the screen so you can have a better view. There it is. Or you could read it back there because it's on our screen, so you can. It's not the critic who counts the man who points out how strong a man stumbles or where the doer or deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who's actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds. Who knows what great enthusiasms and great devotions, who spends himself on a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least while daringly greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. That's Theo Rosenfeld. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with that quote. I love it because it was what we said in the beginning. Watch your mouth, dude. You're right.
Yeah.
There's no way in your wildest dreams. There's a lot of players, and I'm gassing you up for a minute. There's a lot of players that will not ever be able to do what you do in their wildest dreams, even in shape.
Yeah.
So chill. And now my hate part of it is there are some players that use it as a cop out. That guy asking Travis Merriweather if Travis took it another way.
Yeah.
And Travis had the right to take it any way he wanted because the guy was a dick.
Yeah.
All right. But if he took it another way, I do need to challenge myself.
Yeah.
Miles Partain is like skinnier than me, shorter than me, doesn't jump as high, but yet there he is and there I am. I have to ask myself that.
Yeah.
So I think there has to be this meeting in the middle where guys like you in that category, the more you are able to give up control, take some constructive criticism from people who are asking legit questions, the more I think the men's scene is ready to take the next step.
Yeah.
They're guys in the gym just like you. You have to remember. This whole podcast is about conquering the muscles between our ears, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we should finish it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to give you the floor a little bit on your sentiment on just outside noise, what you decide to take with you, what's just noise. Because right now, I think between now and next year, I got you on the podcast for a reason. I see great things. When you become great, don't forget about the little people, okay?
Yeah, of course. But
talk to me a little bit about knowing when to take constructive criticism and when to drown out the noise. It's too long to ask that question. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, it's right that you like.
Sorry, tall, skinny girl from Harvard show whoop. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's all about compartmentalizing it. So if you're just always thinking about it all day long, it's just gonna wear on you. Which is why I don't ever go on a site like Volley Talk, or care if anyone because I have friends all the time. They'll say like, "Oh, did you see what they said about you on Volley Talk?" I said, "No." I like, what is like?
Because it's not a real place.
Yeah. I'm probably like those guys talking about me will probably never even be able to play against me. They're probably not even going to register for an open. Like these are all players that they play for fun once a week, and now all of a sudden they're going on a website and trying to critique you. So I think it's just about knowing your worth, and it's hard because you want that approval from your peers, but at the same time it's like if if that's your main goal, you're never going to get that, because they're going to feel that tension when you're like, you know, like I can tell when people are just trying to like get on my good side. So like I'll train with them, right? And they're just always like, you know, like buttering me up. Like that's not constructive, right? You know, so it's all about just knowing your worth and being realistic with it. You know, it's like the world's not fair. Not everyone's born equal. You know,
that's so.
There's people even that I look at where like I look at a TJ, like I can't do what TJ does. Like why be mad about it? You know, why compare myself to TJ? Because I'm not TJ, and he was born, you know, with a whip. You know, he's always had that like fundamental arm swing. You know, not everyone's born with that.
Yeah.
You know, what's your strength? What are you good at? Just focus on that, and then you'll see the success. But if you're just always focusing on like how to be like that guy, or I want to be one of those guys, you know, it's a very negative. You're going to be very negative on yourself, and you're just going to be frustrated, and you know, maybe get a little bitter, and that's how you end up being on those forums, you know, talking about other people instead of, you know, focusing the time on yourself.
I agree, and we seem to keep bringing it back to TJ because he's such a great example. Like if someone on the forums, like that guy's walking around like he thinks he's the best player in the world, my answer to that is, how do you think that this man got to where he is? There's some people that take a humble approach. Like, I think I'm good, but I got so much work. But when you're in a game, when you put that pressure on yourself, like I think I'm the best player in the world, and you emote that.
Yeah.
And if you're able to take the pressure of every little mistake, everyone's going to highlight that because you have that chip. If you can take that, if you're that guy that can take that pressure, knowing that every little mistake is going to draw criticism, you got a great career. And not everybody's like TJ. TJ has a chip on his shoulder because I think that's how he puts pressure on himself. I don't even know the guy, but I just think, as far as comment sections go, I think anyone that knows sports, never mind volleyball, knows that there are types of athletes that do that because maybe some people have fake confidence that turns into real confidence, and I'm not saying that about TJ. I'm talking about maybe it's TJ 1A or something. Yeah, you just gotta understand not everybody has the same way.
Yeah,
Jordan.
And a lot of people don't realize too that like some of us have a switch that we turn on the court. Right, I've heard it a million times through my friends where someone's like, "Oh, like Matt's like he thinks he's really good. He acts like he's really good." And well, my friends are like, "Well, he's pretty good, so he should be able to." Then they're just like, "Have you talked to him off the court, like away from volleyball?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, "Well, maybe you should go do that." You know, because it's like people have this notion that like who you are on the court is who you are always.
Right.
Whereas like there's a lot of guys that, you know, and I've dealt with a lot. I won't, you know, throw out names or throw anyone under the bus, but there's a lot of guys I hang out with that when we get on the court, it's just like we're boom, 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 boom. We're fighting. Like people don't think we're friends, and then we step off the lines, and it never happened.
Right. Can you appreciate Phil's genius then?
Yeah.
Him going on the court and saying absolutely nothing is what he brings to the table. Can you appreciate Michael Jordan's genius, right? Yeah. Like you see LeBron James, he has his platform and he uses it uses that platform to do what he perceives to be the right thing. And for that, he's always my off the court goat. As far as on the court goat, we could have a different debate. You can come back on the podcast and we can talk about sports, other sports, and our favorite comedians, all right? But can you appreciate Jordan's genius? Just playing and not using his platform for anything else but basketball that inspired people to do the right thing. That's the best. For sure. And that's why everybody has to be like, you should be doing it this way, you should be doing it that way. How about I'm not trying to say mind your own business, because volleyball is their business, because you play in front of people, because that's how you make money, right? You ain't playing you ain't going to make money playing the private games, all right? It is fan driven. But chill out. Yeah. Understand that we're not machines. Yeah. I don't play no more. You're not machines, you're people. No, I'll put myself, because I'm a coach, because I'm a different personality. We're not machines. We're people. And we use what we got for the best result for us. Because like you said, you got to go home with yourself. Yeah. You ain't going home with no one from Volley Talk.
Well, we live in a society where it's like everyone wants to tell you the certain way you should do things, or the certain way you should live. Where I was really lucky to have parents that are just like,
I needed your parents. I needed your parents. Go ahead.
My dad just wants me to enjoy life, and do something for a living that makes me happy, that I can sustain myself, but I'm happy and I'm enjoying it. Right? Like, they didn't force me to get a degree. They didn't force me to do it. Like, they didn't. Right? I had a lot of friends' parents that like they had to get a degree that they hated just because like their parents wanted to tell all their friends, oh, like my son graduated college.
A lot of that around here.
Does this, does that. My dad's just like, be happy. Enjoy life. Find something that makes you happy and do that your whole life.
Or you're a hippie kid?
And then no, not really, but I had a pretty standard childhood, like a pretty easygoing family, but they were never pushy. They just, like if I got a C or a B, that was okay. That's, it's a passing grade. It wasn't like, like they didn't live through me. They didn't need me to be successful to go brag to their friends and, tell all their friends, how great their kids are doing. Nice. They just wanted me to be happy. Yeah.
Boy, did I jump the stereotype, didn't I, people? I'm like, this dude's got the Jesus beard. He plays guitar. He's a hippie. No, I'm kidding. No, but I look, those are parents I wish I had. Okay. Yeah. I grew up very, very differently. My childhood was troubled. My family was troubled from on down. And these days, only me and my siblings are close. I have 3 sisters. Oh, well, 2 of them I'm close to, but I'm glad I'm glad all of that's working out for you, and I'm glad this is working out for you. Let's finish with one more 1 minute thing.
Cool.
And this 1 minute thing is called a lightning round. So we just got to come up, quick question, quick answer. Boom.
Yeah.
All right. So, sorry, I'm going back to my clock. And we might finish this before because you're really good at this. So, let's go. Ice cream or cupcakes?
Ice cream.
Nice. Last good book you read?
Last good book was Jerusalem.
Nice. Cool, man. Favorite comedian?
Favorite comedian? William Montgomery.
Marvel or DC?
DC.
Pool or beach?
Beach.
Nice. Last favorite television series, if you have time to watch TV.
I would say Community.
Community?
Yeah.
Things you like to do on Sunday night?
Play guitar.
Play guitar. Favorite musician?
John Mayer.
John Mayer, the volleyball player? No, I'm just kidding. They don't even know he's a volleyball player. That's all I got. You did it. You banged it out, man. Man, you're not getting paid by the hour.
Yeah.
All right, I'll turn this off. So we lost our feed. After the Gladiators in Arena speech, someone just messaged me and said, it's too bad because we did that. And at the end of the speech, the feed cut off. But this whole episode is
recorded.
Yeah. That's I'm going to show it on my camera.
Yeah.
This thing, the whole world goes to hell, man. That thing keeps going, and I'm very, very happy for that. So people want to know a little bit more about you. You have a website, IG handle. Some want to know what some of your followers, and it appears you have many that want to know what you've been up to, stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm only on Instagram, just at Matt Hilling. I try to stay off social media as much as possible, but I do enjoy Instagram. I'm just getting ready for India. I'm super excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness. So to play.
To play.
God.
So
wow. I'm excited for you. Dude, that's millions of people.
Yeah. No, that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to schedule a time when I'm back to get together and talk about that. We do,
because we haven't even we've only talked about volleyball.
Yeah.
We haven't even hit the surface of other fun stuff, like your musicians and comedians.
Yeah.
Like mine is Chappelle, but I mean, we got to have a great conversation about all of that stuff. So for sure, come back on.
Yeah.
So for everybody at home, Matt Hilling might love you, but me, I don't love any of you. In fact, I can't stand any of you. I'm in hater J mode. So for all of you at home, for all of you on your iPad, that's the cold getting me, the hater cold. For all of you on your iPad, for all of you on your desktop, who runs the world? Old school, baby, old school. For my man right here, that's Matt Hilling. I'm Jason DeBillius. This is episode 150. Listen to that. This is episode 159 of the Option Podcast. I need a tech person. Excuse me. Hit my music. We're out. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.